Real quick, y'all, I'm coming out with the aggressive E4 repertoire course coming out soon. This is for those of you that play the move of E4 and you want to have a fun response against the French, against the CARO-KANN, Sicilian, Nimzowitsch, Alekhines, you name it. The list goes on and on. If you're interested in that, the course isn't out yet, but right now we're doing pre-orders. If you pre-order it, you're going to get a very nice discount. That discount code is early bird. So go down to the description below, go down to the pinned comment, and plug in the discount code early bird by February 10th to get that discount. All right, y'all, here's the deal. Okay, last night I was working on some content. Some of y'all probably saw my recent Tigers Modern Defense video. I was filming that pretty late. I was up till about 4 a.m. And in the middle of all that, I ended up playing some blitz chess online, and I went with the cow opening. You know, the cow deserves a shot. You know what I mean? Like, just give the cow a chance. Okay, just give the cow a chance. So last night I started playing the cow. Somehow I won 7 games in a row with the cow opening, which is what we're going to be covering in today's video. I hit a blitz peak with it of 2487 with the cow. So, I mean, look, the cow might get me to 2500. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, the cow opening, for those of you that are not aware of what it was popularized by Anna Cramling. And basically what we're doing is, I mean, I usually hear about it from the white side, but black can do it too. You look to put your central pawns up one square, similar to a hippo. I don't start the hippo like this, but eventually these pawns do come to e6 and d6 in the hippo. However, in the hippo, y'all know that we tuck the knights, right? At some point we do that, you know that. But in the hippo, we look to fianchetto both of our bishops. In the cow, nah, we're good. We're just going to tuck our knights on g6 and b6. And this is very interesting, okay, in terms of the practical side of things, getting crazy. I mean, you're going to see that there were some crazy games coming out of this cow opening. And I think it can be difficult for the opponent to see this and know exactly what to do. If you push either way, right, we do have the option, we don't necessarily have to do this, but we do have the option of locking it up, which is going to give us pawns looking towards one direction of the board, right, which can be good for attacking chess, either going kingside or queenside. Of course, our knights right now cover decent squares, and our sideline pawns, as well as our flank pawns, are able to move pretty quickly. So we do have a lot of flexibility here. I mean, look, I'm just getting started with the cow, so I'm honestly just trying stuff out. But at least in the games that I played, I did pretty well with teching the bishops on e7 and d7 in a lot of the games. My opponent here played king d1. Pretty sure that this was a mouse slip. I mean, 2357 elo. I don't think they're just going to play king d1. So I think that was a mouse slip there. Yeah, I mean, here, okay. Apparently the engine likes d5. Interesting. Striking in the center makes sense. I mean, we do have a queen and a knight supporting that guy, and if white pushes, the engine likes knight to c4, which I found that pretty interesting. From this point, we can start looking towards, you know, b6, bishop b7, maybe a6, b5, but I mean, that's going to be a very nice diagonal for us to take advantage of. It's really a hippo idea in a lot of ways. And okay, I mean, that's a move to consider. I ended up playing bishop to d7 though, and then my opponent plays h4. Now, were they aware that they were gambiting a pawn? I doubt it. I don't know. Right? I don't know. It's very interesting, even when you're going up against very high elo players. When they go up against something like the cow opening, you just start seeing weird moves because they're not used to it. I mean, all of your theory, the second I play the hippo, the second I play the cow, the second I play the Tigers Modern, against most players, all their theory goes out the window. And okay, I mean, knight takes h4. I played that. I ended up taking again. So now we're up a pawn. I mean, I don't mind that. And then I ended up running back to e7. So generally, guys, if I get my pawn, I just run back to where I was. Now, sure, sometimes there's a better square, but especially in the hippo, get your rook, get your knight that they hung, run right back. In this case, we got our pawn, and the cow bishop runs all the way back. King e2 was played here, and I ended up taking space with c5. And yeah, I mean, this is also a hippo theme, looking at the center, going, hey, which pawn is less protected? I mean, e4 is protected twice, d4 is protected once. Yeah, let's play c5. Let's just put some pressure there. Let's take some space. And really, let's threaten to trap the bishop on d3, right? Here, white ended up capturing, and I took back. We had b3 there, rook c8. I'm just trying to continue adding pressure on that c4 spot. And here the move of e5 was played. Now here I played c4. That was a mistake. It just was, guys. I should have played h6 because the rook and the bishop were looking down at my pawn. But okay, I played c4. My opponent could have captured the pawn. I'm still slightly better here. I mean, very slight, like minus 0.2-ish. But I just gave up a pawn, and for what good reason? And us going, hey, let's play g6 to trap the bishop. Well, they take. Right? They take. If we take the bishop, oh my gosh, our rook falls. And if we capture this rook, that's not good. We should really just run away, because white's going to capture back, and they're about to crash through with some incredible attacking chess. So that side was c4. White blundered by taking with the b pawn. I was able to take on c4. And then here it's all about adding pressure, right? White is very awkward. They have an isolated pawn on c2, a2. e5 isn't technically isolated, but it feels like it, right? It's just kind of out there by itself. The knight on c3 is very loose. So I ended up playing queen to c7, looking at that knight. If the knight wants to run away, then the rook's going to crash in. Great. So bishop d4 was played. I took a little bit of time here, or I thought I did. Oh, wait, no, that was the next move. Okay, so I played bishop b4, just adding the pressure against that knight. King d3 was played. Desperate attempt by white to protect that minor piece, because right now we got 3 attackers on it, right? We got 3 attackers. White has 2 defenders. You got to get a 3rd defender in there. That's the only piece that can do it. I took a little bit of time here, 21 seconds, which is a decent chunk in a 3-minute game. I was thinking through stuff like, should I take the bishop? Is there some crazy sack here? Should I castle? And then I went, you know what? Let's just take on c3. Right? I'm not going to play bishop b5 right now. Okay, and well, I thought it was bad. Apparently it's okay, but I didn't want to do it right then and there because of knight takes b5 attacking the queen. Apparently we take on d4 and we're fine, but instead of doing it right then and there, I wanted to remove the knight and then play bishop b5. And now white is in a situation where, yeah, they have their 2 defenders, but if you're going to keep your 2 defenders there, then, okay, the king is vulnerable if the bishop runs. Anywhere our rook moves, that's check. So white ended up playing king to e3. We have check on c3, king f4, and white resigned before I could make a move. Not sure what I would have played here. I mean, rook c4 is the engine move, just chasing that king around. Very, very easy for white to drop the game here quickly. And yeah, I mean, they're just losing no matter what they do. So yeah, very interesting there, right? Very interesting cow in that game. Here, next up, playing as white, I'm going up against a 24-02, and okay, in the cow, every game, d3, e3. Just start out like that, right? Put your pawns in the center, and then tuck your knights, and then bring them to g3 and b3. I don't know if the move order matters a ton. Let me know in the comment section, those of you that play the cow opening, if move order matters a ton in terms of yeah, the way that we get here. I will say that I personally kind of like getting both of my knights tucked before I play knight g3 or knight b3. So I need to learn how to draw arrows. I don't personally like throwing my knight all the way out there and then having this one have to catch up, but that's just me. Bishop e7. Here I played knight g3, knight b3, and bishop e2. Okay, and this is interesting because black didn't take the full center, right? There's different ways of playing against the cow. Later on, we're going to have a 4-pawn center versus the cow opening. Here, they didn't take the full center. So that does give me the ability to pretty easily take space with f4 if I want to at some point. Here, I ended up going with castling and f4, taking that space. Yeah, sure. Knight c6 was played, and okay, I played h3, rook c8. I played bishop to d2, just continuing to develop. And here the move of e5 was played by black. And Yeah, I mean, this is interesting. The engine likes knight f5. The engine also likes taking on e5 and then knight f5, and that's an active knight. And that is something that the cow opening does pretty well, I think. f5 is, in my opinion, the best attacking square for the knight in so many systems. I'm talking the Vienna, the Kennedy variation of the Nimzowitsch, the Hippo. I mean, there's a bunch of openings where a knight on f5 is absolutely brutal. And with the cow, we already have our knight on g3, so that knight can look there very quickly. Of course, if black looks to slow that down before that, okay, their dark squares are weak. So the cow, I've found, can actually be pretty decent for attacking chess. If g6, trying to get rid of it, okay, cool. We take on e7, queen e1, and okay, your dark squares are weakened because you played g6, and we got rid of your dark squared bishop. But all right, in the game, I instead went with the move of pawn to f5. Engine didn't love it, but I don't mind this move. I'm a really big fan of f5 in these kinds of positions. Of course, white here doesn't, or excuse me, black here doesn't really want me to get e4 in, as that would create a monster pawn chain, so they play e4 themselves, right? And that's a very strong move. Bishop d6 is an idea now for them. I ended up going, yeah, let's offer a trade in knights. They accepted, and here I played bishop to c3. Okay, now with bishop c3, black here should have expanded in the center with d4, okay, which makes this a mistake because it's like, hey, I'm getting kicked around. If I take on d4, they capture back. I'm not particularly in love with e3 with tempo, so I'd probably play bishop to e1. And black's better. Black's winning here if they play well. But this is a crazy, wild position, a position that your opponents aren't going to be used to. In the game, my opponent took, and they played queen f6. Now, I was very happy to push in the center. I was very happy to lock this position up, and I thought about knight d2, and technically it's okay, but I would say with knight d2, you don't want to just think about the here and now, right? Knight d2, this knight looks, at least to me, more naturally placed, more normally placed than a knight on c1. A knight on c1 looks kind of weird, kind of bad. But you want to think not just about now, but the potentiality of where the knight's going to go. So in this kind of position, I thought knight d2, where am I going to go next? Can't go there, can't go there. Could go there someday, but that's going to take a little bit of work. Whereas with the move knight c1, I'm thinking, okay, with this here, I can go e2, g3 very quickly. e2, f4, right? That's what we're looking at there. So knight c1, I played queen g4, activating the queen, giving that pawn some protection, and then I started maneuvering this knight very quickly, right? 1, 2, queen back. I played the bishop back to g4 so that I could throw in the knight to h5, attacking this rook. And yeah, this is a hard position for black to play. I mean, the best thing black could do is take on f5 with their major piece there. We ended up seeing rook to h6. And here, guys, I missed the winning move. Okay. What's the winning move here? You can pause the video if you'd like and try to figure out what white should play here. I should have found this. So the winning move here is g3, right? I mean, where can the queen move right now? The queen only has one safe move, only one safe square. Okay, g3, h4, the queen's done. Instead, however, I played the move of pawn to f6, and okay, we have bishop takes g4. I captured back. We have capture on f6, rook f4. Black here ended up playing king to h8, probably looking to get this rook over to g8, which that's a pretty commonly used defensive technique if your king is on a loose file, open file, semi-open file, you name it. King h8, rook g8, right? And here I ended up going with rook af1. I'm trying to put as much pressure as I can on that f6 weakness. I'm down a pawn, but I'm just trying to add pressure, and I can't necessarily just go take with my knight without having to worry about the fact that they have a battery ram looking towards h2 and h1. That's something that we have to think about. But pressure's good, right? And the only winning move that black has, the only good move, the only move that's better for them at all is f5. And that's a high-level option. The whole idea behind this, right? In fact, let's just flip the board for a second. The whole idea behind this is going, you know what? If white takes, or if white pushes, the knight's going to fall. That knight is very loose. It's annoying for black, but it's also very loose. So that would be the idea behind that. Instead, we see knight to g8. I ended up playing g3, looking to kick the queen. Rook f2. I mean, right now rook h2 is a major threat, so black's got to respond to that by taking on h5. And here queen takes g3. That's a mistake, guys. I understand black wants to take the pawn, but before that, I mean, this king was actually feeling somewhat okay, somewhat safe. There's no way for me to break open this g file right now, but they just did it for me. Rook to g2. Black here, you got your pawn, but you just exposed your king a ton. Queen f2, looking at f6. And with queen d7, I could just play queen g3. That's the fastest win. I ended up taking on f6, which is also winning, and then I ended up going queen f4. And yeah, this next cow game wrapped up quickly. So as you can see, the cow opening with the bishop still in the center, with the knight on the king side, it can turn into an aggressive game very quickly. Here, okay, next up I was going up against a staff member. Okay, I didn't know what this meant, but this is I guess a staff member little thing, at least when I looked the other day. Okay, 2452. So I go with the same old, d3, e3. We can tuck the knights, knight g3, knight b3. Now this is interesting because we have a cow opening versus a king's Indian defense, right? I mean, this is standard king's Indian defense / PIRC defense, depending on what white plays. What is it technically here? I don't know. Probably a king's Indian, I guess, against the cow. But okay, bishop to e2, right? I tend to like bringing a bishop out to e2 or d2 first, at least as of now, based on the squares that I want to cover the most, right? So right now I feel like, yeah, g4, h5, these are squares that I want to cover. a5 was played from black, and okay, I don't want to get kicked, so let's just put an end to that right now. Knight bd7, I played bishop to d2, and black here should have played b6. They should hold on to their pawn, right? The cow does a great job of putting pressure on that guy. You got to defend it with a pawn. Of course, that does allow bishop f3, so that's a pretty active diagonal for us. If d5, we could play e4, and if black pushes, here we go. We have a locked up center, similar to the hippo in a lot of ways, and we have a pawn chain looking towards the king side, so we can castle king side, bishop e2, look towards f4, f5, and we have a fun, aggressive attacking game of chess ahead of us. But okay, in the game we have knight c5, and this just drops the pawn. Okay, now I'm not sure if my opponents aren't seeing that the pawn is threatened or if they don't care. I'm guessing they don't see it right away because this is such a weird, novel idea to play the cow and look at a5. But hey, if players at the 2400 level are dropping pawns, I'm sure at the the lower levels as well, intermediate, beginner, they'll be dropping pawns there too. b6 was played. Here, I should have played b4, right? Because ultimately, if I run away with my knight, like to c4 like I did in the game, I lose my pawn. And knight c6 felt, yeah, a little wobbly. Okay, a little wobbly. Like the knight's a little bit, by itself out there, Lone Ranger. So, yeah, if my knight moves to c4 like I did in the game, I lose the pawn. So I should play b4 first. Now, if their knight runs, now I can run. I'm up a pawn. We're up a pawn, guys, and a5 could happen soon. Looking to fight to make a passer on the sideline. And, okay, if black takes, fine. We take on c5. We're at even material now, but black's pawn structure is in disarray. I don't mind this. But, okay, I play knight c4. We have capturing on a4. I ended up castling. I like this position for white. h5 is played. f4, yeah, let's take some space. I think practically that's a fun move. And we have capturing off here. I should have took with the pawn. I mean, why not, right? Take with the pawn. f5 is in the air. You got good coverage here as of now. But I took with the rook. Why? I don't know. But it looked interesting to me. And it did pay out because of the fact that black ended up pushing to d5. Knight e5 was played here. And with knight takes b2, queen f1. So I'm just focused on the king side, guys. I'm trying to get everybody involved in some way on the king side of the board. Bishop e6 is played, and that there was a blunder. Okay, not a good move. Okay, because with bishop e6, it's just not fast enough. We have bishop c3. And where's the knight going to go? Where's it going to go? Nowhere safe. I mean, in the game, knight a4 was played, but that allows me to swing my rook right over, and now white's winning. White's just winning now. Right? c5, knight c6. Unleashing against the knight on f6. The queen's got to go somewhere, and it can't be e7. So the knight on f6, you got to let it go. We take it. I take on g7. Honestly, guys, against queen takes a4, I was planning bishop takes f8, and this is winning. I mean, we're up a piece for a pawn. However, better is queen f6. Little stockfish move there. Yeah, let's not take the rook. I mean, let's play queen f6. If the rook wants to save itself, all right, cool. We play bishop h6 and, or wait, pardon me. That would not work because of queen a1. Okay, I was thinking bishop h6 and queen g7, but that would not get it done there against this move. Pretty much anything else, bishop h6 works great. Ooh, apparently. So bishop h8 right now, the king runs. Okay. Apparently we're supposed to take on h5 and then... No, not bishop h8. They still run. Queen h6. As you guys can see here, I'm still analyzing this. Queen h8. Interesting. Okay. I like that idea. So we take on g7. If queen takes a4, queen f6. You go to e8. You go to c8, b8, whatever. Okay, we win. You go to a8. We got to realize that this is an idea for black. It's not a threat right now because of our bishop also looking at it, but that's an idea for black. So here, let's sack the knight. Slide our queen over, and if at any point you want to check us, again, we would have captured, and the same applies here. So all that said, in the game, black ended up taking on g7, so that line did not come up. I played rook to f4, b5, and you know, guys, I don't usually sacrifice when I'm up material, but this felt like a position where it was like, you know what, let's just take. I knew that if black took, I mean, guys, we have a knight, a rook, and a queen going up against a king with two semi-open files. What defenders does black have? The queen's not great. The rook's not great. The bishop's okay. I mean, we're mauling black here. For example, king g6, okay. Rook f6. King h5, queen f4. Threatening mate. You stop it, okay, h4, threatening mate. I mean, the king's just on the king's on h5, right? The king's on h5 there. And, yeah, I mean, if king g8 here, we have multiple things that we can do. Rook g4 check doesn't work because then queen f6 would be covered, right? So we can't just go queen f6 and mate them. But, okay, I mean, what could we do? We could throw in a check on f6. They run. Rook h4 works, bring the queen in, you get the point, right? A lot of good attacking chess here for us. Yeah, the king's just not going to make it. So black ended up not taking. I ended up pushing the pawn. I took on g6, just continuing to try to break this game open as much as I could. The pawn can't take, or else we take the rook. If the king takes, yet again, the king's wide open. So black here just continued to do stuff. Okay, fine. We throw in a check. We throw in another one, and this game wrapped up quickly. Black resigned as we have mate the very next move. Okay. And, yeah, I mean, going back to the start there, we play the cow, and we ended up snatching off that pawn, which my opponent missed. Of course, I gave the pawn back, and I didn't mess up the pawn structure there, which I could have. But this turned into a very fun, aggressive game very quickly. f4, we take with the rook, centralize the knight, get the queen over, and, yeah, I mean, as we saw... we had some fun attacking play on the king side of the board. All right, next up here, I'm going up against a CM, a candidate master, and playing as black. I see the move e4, d6, e6. I tuck the knights. So now we have a cow versus a 150. So we're going up against some solid structures here. King's Indian, 150. White here plays king b1, very principled move. Just getting that king off of that diagonal. And that's a good, I mean, that's the engine move. And that's a good time to do it because, look, the cow is not, look, when we play the cow, we're not winning the game in 10 moves, right? At least, usually we're not going to. We're just getting into our system, we're getting into our setup and going from there. So white here is taking their time too, which I think is principled. Here, of Okay, the engine again likes d5. It's just something to think about. The engine, at least in my games, tends to like d5 following the cow. If white takes, we could take with the pawn or the knight. Either one works. I'm a little bit inclined towards the knight personally, as if white takes, we can now capture back. And this is feeling more and more like a normal type of position. If white pushes, here we go. Locked up center. We're facing that direction. I like a6, and yeah, the engine here has a6, knight e7, bishop d7, knight c6, playing towards the queen side of the board, as that is where our pawn structure is facing, with some potential attacking chess. I mean, at some point, getting c5 in can be deadly. So king b1, I instead went with bishop to d7, and honestly, guys, when it comes to the cow, like, when you go into the cow, you know that you have a worse eval. Same goes for the hippo, but the hippo's eval is usually, I mean, not very bad at all. It's very common eval. Usually with the cow, your opponent has over +1 advantage. But do they know what to do? Probably not. My opponent here played f4. I don't know if that's the best move, because you played a 150 to get this activity, and now you just blocked it. So here I respond to this. The second I see this, guys, anytime in the game of chess, you have 3 pawns side by side like this. Look at the middle one. That pawn has no pawn that can ever defend it again. And that pawn's very crucial for making stuff happen. Let's play d5. If white wants to push, f5 is looking not super hopeful for white now. You don't have a pawn guarding it. We could play knight e7. Let's say white plays g4, trying to support it. Okay, h5. You can't even play h3 because we take, and you can't take back because our rook flies in. And if you take on h5, okay, we could play a lot of different moves here. Bishop c6, knight f5. We could just take the pawn back. I mean, what's white doing here? I don't know. They're still okay, but it's like you went into a 150 and then you got all your pawns on dark squares. I don't know. It's not the best. So all that said, my opponent here does not push. They do not take, which is also probably not the best move for them. They instead go with knight to f3. And here, I'm still learning the cow, guys. Apparently in the cow, this is an interesting idea. Bishop b4. I wasn't aware of this during my games, but bishop b4. This is something I'm going to be looking at. d5, bishop b4. And let's say white, pushes, for example, knight a4. The cow strikes again, going after that knight that's pinned. Very novel idea. What other opening do you know of where the knight goes to a4 so quickly? It's kind of a trip, honestly. But okay, in the game I played a6, and with the move g4 again, I can play bishop b4. Even if white pushes, we could drop back. If they take, all right, cool. You just actually helped us activate our bishop. e5, knight a4. You take, we could remove the defender, take with the queen, and the cow has been unleashed. But okay, in the game I ended up taking on e4, playing knight d5, solid square for the knight, bishop d6. I'm just trying to add some pressure here, guys. You know what I mean? Just add some pressure there. f5, we jump into the mix. Knight e4, I ended up taking that bishop, dancing back with the knight. We have capturing here. This is just solid chess from both sides, right? Nothing crazy. Just some trades, and I was actually happy to see that because now I have 2 central pawns. White has 1, right? Why did white take that bishop? I don't know, but that gives me 2 centralized pawns. It gives me the c file to work with. That's comfortable for us. And with queen a3, bishop c6, I liked this move, more or less fianchettoing the bishop and also protecting d6. I ended up castling kingside here. And then here, guys, I went with queen c7. That was a mistake, okay? I definitely should have captured on f5. I wasn't super thrilled about that because of the g file, but I'm okay here. We're good, right? Queen f6. We're attacking the pawn. Let's say white comes to the g file. We could take. We don't need to be in a rush though. Bring the rook over. We have some great squares here. Even rook e3 is something to consider the next move. Going after the queen. Right? A lot of weaknesses here. White is very spread out in a way that we're not. So that's solid. All that said, right? With this move of queen c7, which is what I played in the game. White could have captured, and they can't take right away because I have knight f4, right? I mean, that's a great fork. We're just winning. So what should white do here? Knight g5. That way, if they take on e6, they take with a L moving piece, being the knight, so that f4 is covered, and white here is winning. But okay, queen c7. If they take, I shouldn't have captured back. Should have went with knight f4. But instead we see knight g5. Now that allows me to take on f5. I ended up playing h6 instead, and then centralizing my rook to protect d6. I'm just trying to play solid here. I'm also playing the clock a little bit because my opponent has 46 seconds. So I'm like, you know what? Let's play the clock. Let's play b5, b4. Ultimately, guys, I was trying to get some counterattacking play. My opponent had 37 seconds. My original idea was rook to b8. I didn't like it against f6, though, because I was thinking here, okay, knight c3. If the king moves, we win. But, I mean, okay, even if the pawn takes, it's not super clear how I'm going to win that. If the knight takes, they get a second queen. Okay, I take it off, but now I'm just down a rook, and I can't even play queen a3 because of this pawn on c3 that would be hanging. So I ended up going, okay, you know what, fine. I'll play g6, and then with queen b3, rook b8, just adding the pressure, and then I finally get in the move of knight to c3. Sometimes in chess, you got to do that. Slow down their attack. Chess is a game of making threats and reacting to threats. So you don't, if you're reacting to a threat, that doesn't mean you're losing at all. If you're reacting to a threat, all that means is that you're reacting to a threat. You could be losing, but it's very common for you to have a winning position and have to make 2, 3, 4, 5 moves in a row that stop their attack, and then you go back to yours. Knight c3. Okay, I mean, taking on c3 there for white would have been terrible in the practical sense, but that's the best thing that they have, right? I mean, that's the best thing that you got at this point. King to a1. The problem with that is, okay, we just take the bishop. We're now up, and the bishop's able to bounce back to d5. So white here is in trouble. As you can see, 14 seconds, 7 seconds left. This is, very tight. So I ended up just playing the clock here. I don't think I gave up the advantage at any point. I think there were some moves that were a little bit questionable, like even there, right? Why don't I play c2 first or even take off a pawn? But okay. Rook d7, rook over. I ended up sacking that. Look, this is a little bit scary, especially with them having 2 seconds. So let's sack that. And the game there wrapped up quickly. Okay. Next up, 5th game in a row playing the cow. We have, Cruise 29, 2397. Y'all already know the first 6 moves. So this is fun, right? We've had a lot of different setups in this video. We've had the King's Indian. We've had, what was the last game? How am I already forgetting this, guys? We had the 150. Here we have a 4-pawn center against the cow. Okay. What do we have here? Knight h5 is playable. Bishop e2 is playable. That's what I played. Bishop e2, and then I started pushing with h4. My opponent didn't want me to get h5 in, so they locked it up. That makes g4 very nice for them. At the same time, g5 is a hole. That's a weakness, so that's something to keep an eye out for. And again, the engine likes the cow playing the d-pawn up. And it makes sense to me here, because ultimately, guys, we're trying to get our bishop to g5, right? I don't care how you take. If you take with the e-pawn, for example, we can capture back. And, if we really want to play crazy, we could play bishop b5 and offer up kind of a cow gambit type of idea, just getting some activity. But I would personally probably just capture back. If you push, fine. We play knight c5. Fine, we run to a4. And at some point here, guys, we're going to get some counterattacking play. We're looking at d5, and we're looking at g5 as well for our bishop. If taking, we can capture back. Wild position. Apparently, this is dead even. Okay. I mean, stuff's everywhere. Let's just say black takes. Okay, we're winning now. Bishop takes d5. The knight's hanging. The pawn's hanging. Bishop g5 is on the way. Black's king is still in the center. Great stuff. I ended up going with the move of c4 instead. c4. And, okay, black ended up pushing. If black does take and then they end up wanting to take my queen, that's fine. I mean, black's better, but I don't know if they're winning at this point. But okay, so we have the move d4 here. Again, I should probably take this, guys. I should probably take it so that I can get my bishop to g5 fast. I ended up playing bishop f3 first, and then taking on d4, and then playing bishop g5, right? Bring my knight back to d2. I like this position. Am I crazy, guys? Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm, I don't know. I like it. I mean, queen to e2. We have a great bishop on f3. Going after the knight that protects e5. Our bishop on g5 is very active. We got good activity here. Good presence on the king side. I ended up castling, playing rook e1. I'm just trying to add more and more pressure to e5. As much pressure as I can. I was looking at knight d7, I think, at some point here. Knight d7, but we're still okay. I mean, look, black here has 3 defenders on the pawn. We have 2 attackers. That's not enough. Okay, let's remove one of them, right? Now, if we see b takes on c6, okay, we can take on e7. If the queen takes, that pawn only has 1 defender now. We attack it. That pawn's just not going to make it, guys. The king takes, we could still play this, right? Going after the pawn. Black here, if they want to hang on to their pawn, they got to play king f6. Guarding this guy. Okay, knight g5. We didn't get the pawn, fine. But now we're threatening a fork on e4. So, very, very interesting stuff. King f7 was played. Here I ended up taking on c6. Playing knight f3. Queen takes e5 would have been totally fine as well. That was the engine preference. I think I saw some ghosts here or something. I don't know why I didn't like this, but knight f3 was totally fine too, just adding the pressure. I mean, the pawn's still going to drop, right? So knight g4, I ended up taking on e7. We're now up a pawn, so we are winning this position. The threat is to make a battery ram happen and go after that bishop on e6. King d6 was played instead, so I mean, I can still play this, but there's no pin, so black's able to defend it easily. I played f4. I like the fact that these pawns are on the opposite color of the bishop. The knight g5 at some point is something that we're looking at here, and black just can't stop that. I ended up, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, we got to respond to a threat, that's fine. And then we go back to, right, maneuvering our knight. f2, h3, f4, king f7. I threw in a check. Here, knight d5 check. That was a mistake. The second I played this, I went, oh my gosh. Why did I do that? Because originally I was thinking, okay, black takes. I take. I got 2 passed pawns. If rook d8, I'm winning. e7. Looking to promotion. Black stops that. d6. Continuing to hurl the pawn up. Right? I mean, let's say we play d7 and they take. I'm not taking the rook. Because then the king gets into the square. Oh, let's make a queen. Take our rook. That's fine. We have a queen now. Right? The problem that I saw here once I did it was that black would have had king e7. Now, I mean, rook d8 can come, and if I play d6 to make something, okay, king d7, black's okay. So that actually would have turned out to be a draw. A drawn position, at least. But, okay, king g7 was played. I went, yeah, okay. I can save my knight now. King f2, e7. I was okay with black potentially taking that. If they don't, rook e6 is a major threat there, winning that bishop. But okay, I'm okay with this because I get the pawn on g6, and I also, I mean, yeah, we got targets on h5 and f5 as well. Okay, knight f4. This is a winning position for white, right? Just take a sip of water real quick. Okay. I mean, this is winning, right? This is a winning position because we're up a pawn. I talk about that in my chess endgames course. If you're interested in that, it's in the description below. But yeah, in that, we talk about knight versus bishop and a lot of endgames. And here, the extra pawn is what gets us the win. Now, it's not over here. We have a 2-on-2. On the queen side, we have a 4-on-3. So really where our advantage lies is having that extra b pawn. Right, so we have the advantage here. That's where we got to play for. So I started with a check, g3, just solidifying things right now. Knight back. The king has no routes here. There is no way for the black king to get through. There's no way for this bishop to do anything because it's the bishop, right? It's stuck on one color. So now I can start running my king over. I played a3, b3, king f6. If black took there, I'd have a passer, which is great. That can be used as bait, as a distraction to distract the bishop, distract the king, and then start focusing on the other side. b4, b5, knight d5. I mean, we're winning this, right? Winning position. Bishop f7. I played b6. I was fully aware of bishop takes d5. Thankfully, yes, black is in the square of this pawn, right? Meaning that we draw, well, there's a couple ways of doing it. You could draw a diagonal line and then fill out the square. Okay, the king can stop this pawn. Same with this one, right? And you could also count it out. So you can go 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then finish out the square or the box, whatever you want to call it. So the king is within the area, but the king cannot stop both. We can't force our pawn to the other side of the board, either one at this point. They're not far enough apart for that. But notice we have built a wall, right? You can't go to c7. You can't go to c6. If you take here, okay, we win, right? Now you are outside of the box, outside of the square. So whenever you have pawns that are not right next to each other, they're not on the same or file next to each other, and there's a file in between, they can still protect each other indirectly. What you want to do, you've built the wall, just be careful here. So king d2, you don't want to break the wall here. Don't break the formation. We're losing now, right? Keep it how it is. The second that you can safely get your pawns to the same rank, do it. Safely being the key word. If they attack one pawn, you push the other, we're good, right? So that's what I saw there. Yeah, I mean, king c6, that was played in the game. Here, I only have one winning move, and that is knight f6, not knight e7. I played knight e7, going for that pawn. Knight f6 is winning because if they take, we have knight d7 check. Beautiful move. At the time, I didn't realize that by black playing king c6, protecting c5, they'd fall into a fork. Knights are so crafty. So crafty. But, okay, I threw in a check. I took an f5. Here I played knight d6. Probably not the best move either, but guys, I mean, look, 14 seconds, 17 seconds. We're blitzing it out here. And, okay, king d6, guys, I made a huge mistake. Huge mistake here, king d3. And the moment I played this, I went, oh my gosh, I'm losing. I just stepped on the mined square, right? What does this mean? Black can play king to e5. I have no good pawn moves. I played g4, but I have no good pawn moves. And if I move my king, I lose the pawn. So in this kind of situation, if you step here before they're on e5, you'll lose. Just hang out. Just hang out. Keep an eye on it. Don't just start running away, but keep an eye on this. The second they step to e5, then you play king d3. Then you play king d3. It's a draw, right? Now, if black had a pawn on c7, or even a pawn on h7, they're winning because they can waste a move, and then they're going to get that pawn. It all comes down to tempo in the endgame. But here black has to disconnect. Unfortunately for me, there is a pawn protecting this, so I can't just win the game now. But, okay, fine. I go back. I just keep hanging out. You step back. Okay, fine. Now I play king d3 to draw. Instead, I played king d3 first. Now, with 12 seconds left, we're dead lost. It's like, you know what? Let's just Hail Mary this thing. Go for it. Pawn to g4. H takes g4 was played. I have h5. And, okay. I mean, this king is within the square of this pawn. So I'd say the king right now should start running. If I play e5 with check, looking to distract the king, they could still take. They're still within the square, guys. Right? They're still going to catch up. Sure, I get a queen, but who cares? They take it right then and there. If I play h6 and then e5, they're still going to be able to catch up. And unfortunately for me, again, this is a protected pawn, so I can't take this and then be in this pawn square. However, my opponent here plays g3, and they play g2. Right? 8 seconds left. We have a time scramble here, and then I was able to just dirty flag it to finish it out. Right? Okay, so interesting stuff. Okay, that's 5-0 for the cow in terms of the last 5 games. Here, Next game, we're going up against a 24-49 strong player. This game was very interesting. Tuck the knights. Okay, so here, I don't know what to call this. I see this quite a bit when I'm playing the hippo, this kind of structure. I guess it's just a modern, not a modern defense, but like, you know, the modern against d4 and c4, the queen's gambit. Kind of that structure, just a solid structure. c5, maybe a terrace defense. But okay, I mean, we're playing the cow. We're doing the same thing. f4, yeah, I got this from the hippo. If they're going to give me that space, I'll take it. That's cool. You know, you could argue maybe we should do it a little bit later. But okay, f4, take that space. We castle. a6. I didn't really want to let b5 happen. So let's play a4. b5 now. You can't do it. Not going to work, right? So rook e8 is played. And here I played f5. Definitely premature. f5 is something that we want to look towards, but the pawn's not on e5, guys, right? And because of that, bishop d6 can't be played. Not the best position, right? So looking back, there's different things that we could do. I mean, c3 is a move, a cow move that the engine seems to like. It gives you more protection on d4. We could start swinging this knight over as well, potentially. But okay, f5, black pushed. I played e4 now. Right, again, you can argue I should drop back. But here, black made a mistake. They pushed. Now I have a beautiful attacking game. And this is what you can get with the cow. This is what I found. Again, I'm going up against 2400s. And I'm getting great kingside attacks out of this. I ended up playing knight to h5, capturing back, b6. Okay, here, guys, I missed something. And honestly, I don't feel bad about it. Would I find this in a long game? Maybe. In a classical? Maybe. I don't know. I was thinking about breaking open the kingside because it's so weak. But the engine move here. Bishop takes h6. Black takes. The engine move here. Bishop takes f7. Isn't that crazy? I mean, guys, the cow is nothing to mess with here. We throw in a check, check again, throw the pawn up, right? Queen h5. I mean, if you want to block with the bishop, that's going to be game over very fast with queen g7 or f7 next. King g8, okay, f7, and we're about to make us a second queen. We're crushing that. So that would have been a great move. I played queen g4 instead. White here is still clearly better, but not winning. Bishop g5. I played h4. Guys, somehow here, I took, 20 seconds-ish. I was thinking about f6. Can you believe that, guys? I was thinking about this. I was like, f6, okay. But then they check, and then g6, and then I take, and then I realized, oh, wait, what am I talking about here? I just lose my queen. So I found that. I took with the rook. Queen f6, knight back, right? Queen g3. And I'm just trying to get pieces involved over on the king side now. Very closed. Very close for black. Sure, you have your pawns facing towards the queen side. Who cares? My king's not there. My pawns are facing towards your king. b5 is played. Knight h2. I didn't care about black taking here, right? I'd get knight g4 in, kicking this queen f6. This would just be an incredible attacking game. So, okay. Instead of that, we saw the move queen to e7. And guys, at this point, we got to make something happen, right? If I play knight g4, for example, it's a good knight. But then f6 can be played. And in terms of sacrifices, sure, we could take that, but and then attack it. Who cares though? I mean, queen g7 and our attacks fizzled out, right? It's fizzled out. Knight g4, f6. The bishop's strong looking, but at the end of the day, guys, we don't have pawn breaks. Cannot move. Cannot move. Cannot move. Cannot break anything open. There's so much in front of that g pawn in terms of breaking stuff open, and black does have a lot of pressure towards that. And in the meantime, they're going to be able to play c4 and yeah, start making a game over here. So I knew if I saw f6, the attack was over. So we got to play f6. Sacrifice a pawn. More than anything, guys, this is a positional sacrifice. This isn't me going, hey, I'm going to try to checkmate the king. I mean, I'll try. That's not, I don't mean I won't try not to. I mean, it's not like a direct, okay, mate in 3, mate in 4. No, it's like, okay, f5, no black pawn can protect it ever again. Right? Backwards pawn and doubled. Isolated pawn. Here. Just add the pressure. Queen f3, right? Rook f3 works as well. King g7 looking to protect it. I honestly, guys, I wasn't even wanting to take on f6 necessarily. This is more just a pressure move. And I was planning on bishop g4 next because I don't want to give up my knight. Right? The knight and the queen are such a dangerous combo. I didn't want to give that guy up, so I played bishop g4 instead. If black did take, okay, yeah, we throw in a check, queen h5, guys. All of a sudden, all these weaknesses come to fruition in terms of us winning the game. f6, attack twice. h6, attack twice. h5, completely our square. If the rook comes over, we could just take f6. On top of that, we could just play rook f5 and swing our way over. Black's structure is so committed to the dark squares that the light squares are simply ours, right? So, okay, f5 was played here. I ended up taking with the e-pawn. This is a common idea in the hippo. Take away from the center so that that diagonal opens up. Here I'm threatening to take the knight, and I'm threatening f6, right? So black stops both. I played bishop h5 to prepare knight g4, looking to kick that queen. Yeah, I mean, black could have took on h4. I still have check. We still have check again. It's, yeah, this is tough, right? Yeah, this is definitely tough for black to hang on here. But okay, here we have queen d6 instead. I ended up playing f6 with check. I took on h6 and queen g4, threatening mate. Knight e6 stops it. Okay, bishop takes f7. Knight takes f7 is faster, but after bishop takes f7, still completely winning, and black resigned there. All right. And the final game, seventh cow opening game in this video. My opponent plays d4, d6, c4. Here, for those of you that haven't heard of the English rat defense, I'm a big fan of it. I'm thinking about making a course on it. Let me know your interest in that. You know, I think it's cool. I don't know if how many people out there do. Mikhail Tal loved it. Mikhail Tal actually really played well with this. But okay, I mean, we're playing the cow, right? We're playing the cow, tuck the knights. So now we have a cow versus an Averbach. I mean, we're covering all the bases today. Going up against a common Averbach. The bishop is on e2, right? Yeah, pretty standard position. Bishop to e7. I castled. And then my opponent plays d5. And guys, this hands me an attacking game. Right? It's like we're playing the Hippo / King's Indian now. We're going to play f5, f4. I mean, they just handed me an attack. Cool. Right? Now, what else could they have done in terms of pushing? e5, it's better than d5. I'll say that. Even this is not great. We can start putting pressure against it if you want to capture. We could take with the pawn or the bishop. I think either one is playable there. My style kind of fits with the pawn. If c5, right, that's also playable. We could take and then drop the knight back. e5 is a little bit weakened. Of course, white has some space. c6. Guys, this is a playable position. We're not losing at all. White has an edge, just like normal. But d5 here, I don't think that's the best move for white. Don't get tripped up here. The engine's saying f5, okay, which is a good move, but don't get tripped up. I'd say in general, this is totally fine, totally good move. And now f5 is something that we can look at. Now a4, I was a little bit worried about a5 coming. I should have just, well, okay, the engine says I should have did this. I don't like this, though. I don't like this. I just don't. I'm sorry. So I didn't mind dropping the knight back and then playing f5. Here, what should we do? We should play f4, a5, slowing down b4. White here made a costly mistake. They didn't play a3 prepping this. They played a4. Now, there's no pawn that can ever support b4, which means there's no pawn that can support c5 because you need a pawn on b4 to support this, right? White needs to go for this kind of idea, but they missed it. Instead, I played bishop g5, f4 now, b6, right? Definitely a little bit slow there in terms of stopping things, but I'm like, you know what? This is blitz chess. It's almost 4 in the morning. Let's just play some attacking chess. Queen g5. White here definitely should have played knight b5. Okay, so that was premature on my part. But instead we have capturing and then knight b5. I play rook f6. Guys, I'm just trying to create some attacking chess here. Just trying to have some fun. I ended up dropping my knight back to f8, ultimately looking to get this bishop involved. So that's a definitely something to look at. I mean, why would white play this? I don't know. But if they did, it's completely winning now for us to play bishop h3 because there's no knight that can protect this. We're threatening mate. If you play g3, I mean, we could take with the pawn, and if you take again, I mean, it's over. So a lot of stuff that can happen here. Knight e6 was played. Knight e8. Much better move. Much better move for white. But instead, knight e6. At this point, guys, I like my bishop. I think a bishop on e6 at the end of it all is going to be a better attacker than a knight that's not really super mobile. So, okay, I take with the knight first, then the bishop. Looking at this again. b5. I ended up playing bishop h3. Looking back at it, yeah, I mean, rook d8, d5. I'm up a pawn. That's my extra pawn. The pawn on d6. Everything else is evened out. Right? Everything else is evened out here. So, okay, maybe I start prepping the center and then use that to go kingside. Instead, I started hurling pressure towards the g2 pawn as much as I could. Right? I have 4 attackers on it. They have 4 defenders, so they're okay. Queen b3 with check. I run. King h8. Run away there. Rook c2. And here rook f8. King h1. Okay. I mean, I don't want to lose my bishop, so... Or actually, pardon me. I don't care if I lose my bishop because I have mate. So why did I move this guy? I mean, the engine move is running away. Why do I need to move this, though? Why do I need to move it? I guess it's one of those things where, like, I can keep it there, but it's like... What's it doing, right? They can't take it. I can't take them. So I ended up, dropping the bishop back. Here, rook h6. Just trying to add some pressure against that king. And here, queen takes d6. Here, threatening the rook. I kick the queen. I brought the rook to g8. Now, here, I saw an idea that almost worked, but it didn't quite. So I had to move my rook first. Here, white should play king to g1. They didn't do that. They played rook to c6. Completely winning position for black now. If you'd like, you can pause the video. What is the winning move for black? Also, if I said winning position for white, I meant black. Black's winning here. What's the move? Assuming you paused it, here I was able to find the move of queen g3. I don't chase brilliancies, but they're fun when they happen, right? Queen g3. In the game, king g1 was played, but I mean, white's going to get mated now, no matter what they do in the next 6 moves. I mean, if you take the queen, well, first off, what's our threat, right? Well, we're looking at the rook. We're looking at queen takes h2 as well. But if you take the queen, the game's over. That's it. The king's done, right? Now, if the rook runs, turns out, as we talked about, right, the biggest threat isn't taking the rook. That's a threat, but it's not the biggest one. The biggest one is queen takes h2 with check, right? And then knight f3. Game over. Game over. So in the game, king g1 is played. Now, here, I only have one way of getting a mate in 2. If I take on f3, that is terrible because the knight comes in and protects h2. So again, queen g3, they can't take or else it's mate on the spot. King g1 is played. I find queen takes h2. And, okay, black only has one move, and that's a wrap. Game over. Hope you enjoyed this session on the 7 cow opening games that I played. If you want to see more cow opening content, make sure to drop a like. Make sure to drop a comment or 2 down in the comment section. That means a lot to me. as that pushes the algorithm. Yeah, make sure to subscribe for more chess content, and yeah, I will see y'all in the next video. Peace. I wanted to finish this video out by giving a special thanks to Walter, Rob, Roger, Ray, and Jerry, and the rest of my Patreon community. Thank you guys for making this video possible. If you're interested in joining the Patreon family, hey, I'd love to see you over there. There's some exclusive benefits that you gain by becoming a member. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you over there. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.